Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. So this is the first time I'm sitting down this year in 2019 to film a video. So I thought I would do sort of like a channel goals and what I want to see on my channel going forward type of sit down and chat, as well as talking about what I'd like to see in the beauty community going forward in 2019 as well. For those of you who are new to my channel, I've been here on YouTube now for about a year. I started my channel in October of 2017, and before that I was a blogger from 2009 all the way until 2017 when I decided to start my YouTube channel. So I have a relatively new channel. Like I said, I've only been on here for about a year, but there are definitely some things that as I go along that, you know, I've noticed that I want to change, or other things that I really like about my channel that I want to keep. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So first, let's talk about the things that I like about my channel that I want to keep doing. And the first thing is realistic and natural makeup looks. So there's a lot of full glam on YouTube, and I think that's awesome, especially for those of us who aren't great with makeup. I'm including myself in that because I'm not like a makeup artist by any means, never claimed to be, but I just don't wear full glam on an everyday basis, and I know a lot of you guys don't either. So I will sometimes on occasion probably do a little more of a glammed up look, but for the most part I'm not wearing false lashes, I'm not making like huge winged eyeliner, I'm not spackling on a full face of foundation and concealer. I'd like to keep things really natural, and I think that's kind of missing on YouTube. I think a lot of people who are filming videos don't do natural looks because it seems like it's kind of self-explanatory, like everybody knows how to do that. So they want to show a tutorial on more complicated things because those are the things that people struggle with. But I kind of disagree with that, because I think that while it's easier to do more natural looks, at the same time I get inspired by them because I feel like I can do them and I feel like they're doable for me, and I like seeing, you know, what eyeshadow palette somebody pairs with a blush and a lipstick and the look that they can create with that. So I think there's a lot you can still do with natural looks, and I just feel like they're more accessible, at least for me. So that's why I love doing them, and I hope you guys like them too. The second thing I want to keep doing on my channel is keeping sponsored content to a minimum. I've only done one sponsored video in my year and a couple months on YouTube, and that was for Bare Minerals in November. It's not to say that I don't get offers all the time, because I do, and I don't begrudge anybody who does sponsored videos either, because I know people have to make money at the end of the day. But for me, this is more of a hobby. If I quit tomorrow and just went back to being a stay-at-home mom, I could totally do that. That's not really an issue for me. I'm doing this because I love it and because I want to just talk about makeup with you guys. It's not something that I really have to do. It's more of something that I want to do. I'm not the type of person that likes to just sit at home and do nothing. I always feel like I have to be working on something. It's just, you know, I've been working since I was 15 years old, and then when I had my son and I stopped working, I just felt like kind of at loose ends and I wanted to do something. But as far as my channel goes, I don't want it to feel to you guys like an endless shill or advertisement, or like I'm always trying to sell you something. I want you to be able to trust my reviews and feel like I'm being honest with you. And sponsored content at the end of the day is advertising. These companies want you to say positive things about the products. You can't say anything negative. And while, for example, I did accept the Bare Minerals one, that was only because the products that I was going to be using in the video were ones I would talk positively about anyway, and they weren't giving me a script or telling me to say anything. So that's the reason that I chose that one, because honestly, if somebody told you go ahead and use products that you love and would recommend anyway, oh, and we'll pay you, why not, you know? So that was sort of my reasoning behind that one. But you're really not going to see a lot of sponsored content going forward on my channel because it's just not what it's about. And then the third thing that I want to keep doing here on my channel is honest reviews. And I touched on this before kind of with the sponsored content, but it's just so important to me to be honest with you guys. And I normally like to keep things really positive here and talk about the things I love. That's the most fun for me. But negative reviews are also a necessity, kind of like the Physicians Formula Butter palettes that I talked about a couple weeks ago. If something I feel like is really terrible and I don't want to waste your money on it, I'm going to say it, even if I have a relationship with that brand, which I do. I'm actually on their PR list, and I don't know if, you know, they saw that video or whatever, but I feel like most brands understand that not everybody's gonna like every product, and I've raved about plenty of their other products in the past, so hopefully they can forgive me for that one. But it's just, you know, at the end of the day, if brands aren't sending me PR it's not really a big deal. I'll go out and buy the products that I want to buy. Again, like, it's not something that is necessary for me to function on my channel. I can certainly buy the products. It's always nice if they do send it to me, obviously, but I have definitely gotten kicked off of a few PR lists for talking about dupes, high-end brands specifically, which kind of hurt a little bit because those are the ones that, you know, are harder to buy a lot of because they're more expensive. But in a way, I can't blame them for that either, because if somebody were to send me a palette and then I'm going on and saying, hey, you know what, this is a nice palette, but you can get this Wet n Wild one and it's pretty much the same thing, I mean, I wouldn't probably send products to that person again either. So I understand why they do it, but I just want you to know that I'm here for you guys, not the brands. So I'm always going to be honest with you. And then moving on to things that I would like to change about my channel. The first one isn't necessarily about my channel. I think it's more about myself. And that would be that I want to stop obsessing about my imperfections when I watch my videos back. I do this so often, and I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to focus on my eyebrow that won't stay down, or the fact that I have hooded eyes that are uneven, or that my teeth aren't straight anymore, or that I'm in my 40s now and I'm gonna start seeing fine lines and wrinkles and my skin doesn't look perfectly smooth anymore. Those are just things that make me a real person at the end of the day. And when I first started watching YouTube many, many years ago, I felt like I was watching real people, and it was a nice escape from all of the beauty and fashion magazines I used to read with all the models that were airbrushed. And I felt like if I followed somebody's tutorial on YouTube, I actually had a shot at looking like they do. And now I feel like it's become more the norm to have fillers and Botox, and people are using filters on videos. And, you know, it started to make me feel bad about myself. I would watch these videos and be like, why does my foundation not look as smooth as theirs does in real life? Or why does my highlighter make my cheeks look all textured, but it looks so smooth on this person on camera? You know, and it was just giving me such a negative self-image until I realized that it was all of those things that we took for granted and we knew was happening with models in magazines. You didn't realize at first that it was happening on YouTube because it was always more realistic, and now it's not. So I don't want you guys to feel that way when you watch my videos either, and I also don't want to demand those unrealistic expectations from myself, because I'm basically just doing the same thing and expecting that I'm gonna look perfect on camera when in fact I shouldn't. I should look like a real person. I think that's what's going to be the most helpful for you guys, and it's one of the main reasons I started this channel in the first place, to get away from those unrealistic standards. The second thing that I want to change is to rein in my spending a little bit. And I know everybody's talking about going on no buys and low buys, but I do think it's important because beauty on YouTube has become about having all the things and having everything and all the consumption, because it's exciting, to be honest, and it gets videos a lot of views when, you know, you're talking about all these new products that are coming out and people are searching for them. It can help bump up your channel a little bit in those search results and get you more views on your videos. But I want to get back to the way it used to be watching beauty channels on YouTube, where it was like you were watching what that person liked and what that person was interested in, and it was more curated. If I'm buying every single palette that comes out and trying to review them all, that's not showing you what I like and what I would buy. It's just buying all the things. I want to get back to buying the things that I like and that I'm interested in, and then sharing them with you guys, because that's how it originally started for me. Right now, I have so many products that I bought that are just sitting there untouched. I may have swatched them once on Instagram and never used them again. I have things I haven't even touched that are still in the box that are months old, and it's just wasteful at the end of the day. So the first thing I'm going to do going forward is to go on a palette low buy, especially for high-end palettes. I'm going to limit myself to one palette per month that's high-end, not necessarily drugstore, because those palettes don't come out quite as often, and they're also more affordable. If something's under 10 bucks, I'm not going to limit myself there. But especially these high-end palettes, I'm buying them all. And really, back before I started YouTube, I didn't really own that many high-end palettes. I owned 3 maybe. So because I am on YouTube and I still do want to review products at the end of the day, I'm not going to limit myself to like 3 palettes a year like I did before. but one palette a month I feel like is really reasonable, because let's face it, there are tons of them coming out every month. So what I'm going to do is just choose the palette that I like the best, and then if another palette comes out within the same month that I really, really like, I'm going to hold off and I'm going to wait until the following month. And if I still want it at that point, then I'll buy it the next month. And I feel like that little waiting period might actually help me to realize whether I want it or I don't. Many times I've bought something because it just came out and I'm excited about it, and then I never touch it again. So I think that'll really help me to rein things in a little bit. And then the rest of the palettes that come out in a month, maybe I'll just do a video where I talk about why I'm not buying them and why I bought that one particular palette. As far as the rest of the makeup goes, I'm not going to necessarily limit myself yet, because I think palettes are my weakness and they're the thing that I buy the most of and the thing that I think is cluttering up my life the most. So I'm going to limit those and see how it goes. If I need to limit other areas, I definitely will. And also, of course, this isn't going to include PR either, because I still get sent PR. So anything that comes in, obviously, I'm still going to review for you guys. But I just want to curate my collection a little bit more and make it like it was before, where I'm just showing you guys what I would actually buy because I'm interested in it, and not just because I feel the need to review everything. And then just some quick thoughts on the beauty community in general and things that I hope to see going forward. The first one is that I hope that brands bring out some more creativity again and show us something new. I feel like everybody is just getting tired of makeup because it's too oversaturated. There's too much repetition. There's too many products coming out. I think they also need to curate themselves a little bit and focus more on quality and not quantity. I've seen some brands that I really, really loved the quality go right downhill because they're just cranking out too many products and throwing them at the wall and hoping that they're gonna stick. I'm also seeing products that I spent $50 on a couple months ago go on sale for 50% off because people aren't buying them and they're hoping to get rid of their inventory. This is because people have too much makeup and you're making too many products. And this goes for limited editions too. I really wish that companies would scale back on the limited edition palettes and just focus on their core palettes. Like Tarte is a big example of this one. They have some amazing core palettes. The Tartelette series I love, but then they come out with the mermaid palette and, you know, all the little round ones that they're coming out with, all these themed palettes, and then they go away. And I never use them again because I'm here on YouTube and trying to talk about things that you guys can buy, and then I can't show you these palettes anymore because they don't exist. You can't purchase them, and then I feel bad showing it. So I wish that companies would just focus more on their core lines. And limited editions are also contributing to this culture of buying everything right now as fast as you can, you know, because people see something come out and they're afraid they won't be able to get it in a few months, so they don't want to wait or think about it. They just buy it. It's like an impulse buy, and that's great for companies because they're getting money in their pockets right away. But I do think that this strategy is going to backfire on them at some point. It already is to an extent, because people just have too much makeup now. We went through a big wave of overconsumption on makeup, and now all of a sudden people are reining that in a little bit. So I'm hoping that companies will just slow down a little bit and give us a chance to breathe and then wow us and come out with something amazing. Another thing that I hope to see is more brands becoming cruelty-free in 2019. I feel like CoverGirl really paved the way, especially for drugstore brands last year. It was amazing and completely unexpected, and I really hope that L'Oreal and Maybelline and companies like that are big will follow suit, because CoverGirl set a really great example there. The third thing that I hope to see in the beauty community is targeting toward different ages. Now that I'm in my 40s, I hardly ever see makeup geared toward my age group, or, you know, anybody showing models or influencers of my age group. Everybody is so much younger, and there's all these like rainbows and unicorns and mermaids, and I really wish that companies would start to focus on us, older women, as well, because we have a lot of money to spend and we're happy to spend it. And that 18 to 25 age group are not the only people that wear makeup. So going forward, I hope that companies will decide to feature more older women in their advertising, as well as market their products more towards women over 30. Another thing that I'd like to see end are these exclusive releases, brands exclusing products only at Ulta, or only at Sephora, or only in certain drugstores, or only on Amazon. I want choice. I want to be able to see a product come out and buy it where it makes the most sense for me, whether I have Ulta points or whether I want to get the free Amazon shipping if it's Prime, or just if I want to walk into a drugstore and be able to buy it. A lot of times things get released online first or on a brand's website. You see this a lot with brands like Milani and Wet n Wild, and then you can't find them in drugstores for months until the hype is over. And a lot of people just don't want to order from their website because the shipping times are so slow and you have to pay for shipping. I would rather just see something, walk down to the drugstore like it used to be, see it there, and take it home. So it would be nice if brands would stop all of these little exclusive releases here and there and just release everything at the same time. And then the last thing I'd like to see for the beauty community is just everybody being kinder and nicer to each other. And that goes for brand owners, influencers, as well as viewers here on YouTube. There was just so much, I feel like, bad behavior last year, and makeup is supposed to be this fun hobby that we all share. And it doesn't feel fun sometimes because everybody's attacking everybody and canceling brands and picking on each other, and maybe it's jealousy or competitiveness, but at the end of the day, I feel like nothing is more beautiful than someone who's kind. So I think we would all do well to remember that. Alright, so those are just my thoughts going forward in 2019 of what I'd like to see on my channel as well as in the beauty community, and I would love to hear your thoughts on these topics as well. What do you guys think? Did I forget anything? Is there something that you would like to see on my channel? I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Also, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well so that you can see my future videos coming out. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.